I think it's the last weekend of April, isn't it? Last Saturday of April. Who we got here this morning? We got Kathleen McGee. I know, I'm usually a few minutes early. I was struggling with all my protective equipment, playing with epoxy. So first of all, I put a regular glove on. Then I've got these things I bought on Amazon. They're like a long sock with a hole in it here that fits over there. And then I put another glove on top of that. Hi there, everybody. Millie's here. Okay, commercials just came on. Let's hope we don't have a problem with the chat like we did the other day. Give me a minute, girls and boys. I just skipped. Hey, it's leaving us on. So Blooming Colors by Millie. Oh my goodness, Millie. I've seen you several times posting everywhere, but I believe you are a new face for me during the live. Welcome, welcome. So glad to see you here. Everybody is welcome. So my name is Leslie Ohnstad. Actually, and someone yesterday asked me in the questions, who was I and what was the point of my channel? Where could she buy this stuff? So my little spiel of, hi, I'm Leslie Ohnstad, the creator of Color Art Products. I host this show, ColorPlay Live, Tuesdays and Fridays at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm on Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I don't think that was enough for regular recreational users coming by. So yes, we have a website, colorart.com, where you can buy these products. Not everything I use we make, but we do use a lot. Woo, Millie's here. Oh, her new puppy is also named Millie. That's true. Her new puppy, Kathleen McGee, just got the cutest little puppy, and it's named Millie. So yes, we sell these products. I'm actually the creator. I make these things. I've been doing this for the past 28 years. My goal is a chronic craftaholic myself, because I've done lots of things other than what you might just call fine art. I mean, I've carved gourds. I have dental tools for carving gourds. I have a kiln upstairs for baking dichroic glass. So you can say it's a chronic addiction. There is a 12-step program. If there isn't one, we need to make one. You know, my big motto this year, use everything you've got. Don't walk by and pet it. And so this 12-step program, we need, oh, thank you, John. John said more like genius. Thank you very much, sweetheart. But I've kind of made it my life's mission since I started this company to try to find gaps in the art market as far as tools and stuff we can get. I mean, there's no one else in the world right now that makes a dry paint system, right? And it's probably because it's so far-fetched. And I was told by the founder of Modern Masters, he said, you're brilliant because you did it in a dry form instead of a liquid state. Dry colorants mixed together cannot be reversed engineered. That was really good to hear. We also have a dry paint system for epoxy, the resin art. The Prism Pour is, to my knowledge, the only deep base paint in the world. It's actually made with deep base. So mix in a little varnish, it will activate immediately with any of your cell activators. Yes, we offer a fluid acrylic, and there's other companies that offer a fluid acrylic, but I really felt it was a necessary part of the line. And then of course we have to have the toolbox essentials, your minerals from the Bling It line, all your interferences and sparkling micas to make everything flashy and gorgeous, right? And then the fait accompli, the newest of the newest, what we've been playing with since it launched, purely pigments. Let me give you the benchmarks. Since it's Saturday and there could be some new faces in here, okay? So let's talk about paint and how it's made. So your basic favorite tube of paint, and I love Amsterdam, it's a beautiful product. This is not putting them down. This is the average for all basic tube paint, bottle paints that are out there, whether it's Winsor, Newton, Matisse, Golden, anybody, okay? The majority of it is for a 4-ounce tube of paint, okay, 120 mils. The average color saturation to this tube is 1 to 2 mils of pure color for the whole 120 mils. Go to an ink, and it's basically the same color reduced down to a 30 ml bottle. So that's why your inks feel like there's a lot more color to them, because it's reduced down to a 30 ml, same amount of color saturation in these two. Then you jump up to the Fluid acrylics. Now, Vivid Intense happens to be our Fluid acrylic line. It's got a really beautiful creamy base that flows gorgeous. It's not high flow, it's more of a fluid flow. But Matisse and Golden and Hobeline and several companies make a Fluid acrylic. But I thought it was a necessary part of our line. But this has 3 mils of color per ounce. So comparatively, and basically almost all Fluid acrylic manufacturers are the same. Basically, this has got 12 mils of color, 4 ounces, 120 mils. This has only still got 1 to 2. So let's go to the next thing. And until Purely Pigments was launched, Fluid acrylics, no matter what company, were considered the most saturated coloring system you could buy until Purely Pigments came out. This is 26 mils of color to a 30 ml bottle. Just enough carrier to get it to flow. Some of them are too thick. We're trying to work on a way to make them smoother without losing any of that color saturation. Oh my goodness, sweetheart, you haven't missed any. Thank you so much for letting me know. But you're not the only new face in here, and people stop by, especially on Saturdays. We've been getting a lot of new people. So basically right now, Purely Pigments is considered the most saturated coloring system on the market. And while I had intended, and they're archival colors, while I had intended these, really my mind was on epoxy at the time, because there wasn't a really good coloring system for epoxy. We made our resin art, but this allows you to have a matte base. You put a little bit in, you're gonna get the translucency. Almost you could get a tint. And the more pigment you add, the more opacity you're gonna get. Because they're super clean, there's no fillers in this. There's a difference, there's 2 different color bases I can get out there. And the red oxide, for example, that I use a lot to make those rusty browns, okay? If you get the clean rusted oxide or red oxide color, it's twice as expensive as one that has all fillers and impurities and bulking agents and silica and stuff they put in there, because they don't care about any translucency. They just want to make a paint. So there's your spiel of what we sell, because someone wasn't sure. She goes, what's the point of your channel? What are you doing here? Who are you? And can I buy any of this stuff? Valid question. You're going to see it in the questions on one of the videos. I just got that message yesterday, so try to respond to everybody. Okay, so today I'm still going down the epoxy road. I have plenty of it mixed up. I need to show you yesterday's reveal. Evelyn was correct, so everybody can laugh at me now. I have a tendency after I do these shows to just kind of go do a couple things, and then I sort of fall apart. I get tired. Thank you, Cindy. You're such a sweetheart. And I did not come back and keep messing with the drips. And so, hey, Evelyn was right. Evelyn Warner, when she comes on and sees this video, because I don't think she's on yet. Evelyn, you were right, okay? But I'm still going to show you what happened. And I sure wish you were right here in my living room. I just spoke with Fairy Art Mother on the phone and got to show her in FaceTime what these look like. And it's sadly, YouTube's not going to give you as beautiful, but I'm going to try. Okay, so let's flip this over. Let's see, let's flip this over. Push the button. Okay, so this was the 10 by 14 tile. I had used some of this Vivid Intense Periwinkle mixed with the resin with some interferences as a background. This is the one that ran off. You can see it wasn't level. When we left this had this big coral fan on the right-hand side, but the colors are still just glorious. I mean, incredibly Beautiful. I'm going to try to keep tilting it slightly so maybe the light will capture how gorgeous this is. Again, I wish you could be here with me to see this, but I'm loving this color combination. And the colors was the new Perry Bell, the cotton candy, the cyan aqua, the bit of honey. I did use, yeah, and again, smooth as glass. The silicone did not do anything. The silicone we are using is the micro lube oil. It does matter that it's a type 200 and it's a 50 CST viscosity. One thing I learned when Resi Blast came out and I was trying to research the silicone oils they were using for Resi Blast, not all silicone oil is the same. So if you wanted to make sure you're using exactly what I've got. Now, apparently, Pam, Michelle said there was only 2 bottles left on Amazon yesterday. Okay, here's the one that didn't run too much. It sort of kept the pattern. This one didn't form the perfect coral fan, right? But these colors are mesmerizing. That cyan aqua with those colors. Maybe I'm just so hungry for warm colors of spring. Well, we're going to find out today, John, and we're going to take a couple little extra steps forward. I almost was going to do a wooden cradle board, but I've decided to step up to canvas. Okay. And we'll see if the canvas does something different. A lot of people think it's the tile. Purchase it directly from the company. Oh, that makes the microblue oil? That's awesome, Shannon. If you want to put that link up there, I'm sure everybody would appreciate that, honey. Yes, that's awesome. Okay, so one thing I want to quickly go by, and something that Fairy Art Mother reminded me of when I was on the phone with her. Okay, now, canvas period can get loose, right? It is a fabric. Now, this is from a company called Transom. Let me see if I can get the thing out of the trash. Yeah, Transom. I got them on Amazon. Now, normally I wouldn't be showing you the name of the canvases, but what really surprised me is how smooth my Nautilus swipe worked when I used this tool. I had used a cheaper canvas, and the wood around there fought with this, locked it up, and it made a really funny pattern in there. This one has a wider MDF support, which means it's not going to be bad for, or Evelyn, you were right. I didn't babysit my drips. You'll see on the replay, but that's okay. The colors were pretty. I just fell in my chair and fell asleep, honey. Anyway, this is great. This really is smooth canvas. So it flows nice. It's not too rough. And it's got a wide enough thing. Resin is not really designed for canvas because canvas sinks and resin is stiff. It's really designed for cradle boards or MDF, or tile, of course, is the stiffest surface in the world. Oops, I just knocked my camera. Sorry, guys. So we have a product called Vivid Art Fluid. You've seen me use this multiple times for other things. Well, another all-purpose use of this, I don't know how I'm going to show you guys this on camera, is now I will mix it 50-50 with water, but you can just splash a little bit of it on the back, okay? Do it again. Why? You want to see what did I show you? Hello, Dee. How you doing, sweetheart? What do you want to see then, John? So what I'm doing is I'm kind of like brushing with a wooden dowel and a sponge the back of this canvas, the Vivid Art Fluid. Vivid Art Fluid is just pure acrylic emulsion with no thickener in it, right? And I can hit it with a heat gun just to get it started. just going to get that drying process going. So by the time we get to this, because I have one on the back table already done, this will be tighter. It's already feeling tighter just in just a few seconds. So, hi Denise, how you know? How you doing, honey? Now she knows how you can do what? Okay, Evelyn, hopefully I answered the right question for everybody. I'm going to put this in my water receptacle so I don't ruin my sponge. And if I can reach my water receptacle. What did I show you when I went this way, John, that you wanted to see? Uh-oh. You wanted to see the artwork on the wall? John said, do it again. Now I just screwed up and took my phone. Okay, give me a second. It's going to look weird. Orientation's going to look weird. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. It spun around and John goes, do that again. I'm not trying to make you guys dizzy or anything. So sorry. Anyway, you've seen me use this product. It's kind of an all-purpose. It's good for pre-dissolving your primary elements, for your epoxy. You can stiffen the canvas. You can make a spray with it. I know people that mix this 50-50 with water, wet a paintbrush, and then they'll paint over the top of their texture pieces with primary elements in this, because this is going to act as a binder. There's just no thickener in it, right? You can even run this through an airbrush if you wanted to. So it's just kind of a cool all-purpose medium. So let's get going, because today we're going to try to do 2 nautical swipes with those round canvases. What I have on my table, and I talked about it yesterday, there's this butcher board you can buy off of, I think it was Etsy. I'm not going to show you right now, but where I'm pulling up my finger right here, there's a little level here that's been mounted. On the right-hand side, there's a level, and there's feet to level this out, okay? And then I've covered this with a silicone, and I also have my turntable on here covered with some plastic wrap, and then a little bit of silicone mat here in the front where I've got all my stuff laid up. So we're going to try to do a lot of stuff today. This could be a very long live if you have to leave or whatever, we understand. But I'm going to try to cover a lot in today's segment, as much as I possibly can, about getting these colors mixed in front of you guys so you can see what we're doing. See, I can get this camera going so you can see everything that I'm mixing. All right, because the color mixing is a big part of what people expect from us, or at least expect from me. All right, so first color I'm going to do, I'm going to get the gold out of the way. Everybody's talking about that silicone, and sorry to bore everybody, but at this point, I'm going to put silicone in the gold. I may put a little bit of silicone in the one of the interferences. Now, because I'm going to use gold on a lot of pieces, I've got 3 pieces to use this gold on. I'm mixing up quite a bit of resin here, okay? I wouldn't just be doing that much for one piece, but I am mixing up a lot. Now, some of you are new, so sorry for you guys hearing me repeat this, but when you see DecoArt Gold and you think, oh, it's this beautiful mica paint, right? Well, you wonder when you mix up mica and acrylic and then you go use 24 karat gold, why is theirs seem to be prettier? Why is Golden's paint a little bit prettier? Why is the Rust-Oleum metallics just a little bit richer? Because there's actually color in them. So if you're going to make up your own gold paint, take a little creative license, add a little color, okay? Or that's going to be our quote, our little quote, add a little color to your life. So I'm going to use, this is a heaping 1/4 teaspoon because I got a lot in there. This is the Emperor's Gold. Man, I should have put that on the bottom. I'm going to kick myself in the butt. I completely did it wrong. I wonder if I can get away with doing it this way. I should have showed you to put the mica on the bottom. because when you do that, the mica, the minerals don't have any preconditioning on them like our resin art does, and the mica is going to poof up. So when I'm making the gold or stuff, whatever it is, if I'm not going to use it, I try to remember, I don't always do it, I try to remember to put the powder on the bottom. I know I just put it on the top on that one. So we have a little bit better chance of the paint not poofing out of the top. Okay, I'm adding a new color in set 3 called Bit of Honey. Been using a lot of this color lately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is a big batch, okay? And then just to add a little warmth, I'm going to put 2 drops of Aztec Yellow. This is, I believe, in set number 2. It's already up on the website, loose. You can buy it as a loose color. 2 drops of Aztec Yellow. Okay, let's get these guys away off the table and put them back where they belong. All right. Like I said, when you add a little color to your golds, copper, bronzes, straight metallics, they will look richer to you. There we go. Are you guys not allowed to put links up? Do I need to give people permission to do that? I wish I could. I can't stop the broadcast to do that right now. I'm a little bit, so take a look at how rich that looks. Now, if you guys have any memory of when you just try to mix straight mica, gold mica in acrylic, it looks like there's something missing. Any straight mica in acrylic or resin, it doesn't look complete until there's a little color, right, to go along with it. Okay. Sorry, I had to fix my chair. It's been dropping lately, the lowriders. Here we go. Now I'm sitting up correctly. Sorry about that, kids. So I'm gonna, now this is the one color that's gonna have the silicone. We know for sure. So adding the silicone, I'm gonna take the fat end. These are just old wooden skewers I've used over and over and over again. I'm just gonna take the fat end, the blocky end of it, add a few drips. One more little round in there. That's a lot of silicone. I know it's a ton of silicone, but man, we're getting mad cells off of that, right? And then I'm just going to give it 1 stir. That's it. The larger your silicone globules in your paint, the larger the cells. There's a picture of the oil I'm using again, so everybody can see it on camera. So if you over stir it, the cells are smaller. If you under serve it, your cells are going to be bigger. That's just how it works. Okay. So, sorry, I'm getting my little puppy pads out of the way and getting things. I'm a neat Nick. For those of you guys are new, I have this thing about, especially if I'm working with epoxy, but any kind of paint or any kind of product, I try to keep things neat and tidy because it can get away from me really quick. Really quick. Okay, we're gonna mix some of this sky blue, and I really should have called this powder blue. This is in the new set, as is the cyan aquas in the new set. They should begin shipping next Friday. There is a pre-order event gift up there right now. If you order right now, you will get a free gift for being in a pre-order status. And those who are part of the Art of Color Club membership, you're getting a second gift from us because that's how it works. If we have a pre-event, our members get taken care of extra special. So we're still doing the membership drive, or anybody that joins right now becomes a founding member will have all the perks. After the first week of May, that's going to change. The tiers will be created. We'll still have quick ways to get up the tiers, but right now this is the best way to get started with the membership, because you can start, I have moms of 3 asking me to make it easy for them to join. And so we even have a super reasonable one on the membership drive. If you want to find more about it, just go to the top of the website. There's going to be Art of Color Club membership there, and then ColorPlay deals, stuff that I talk about here in the live that I say is on sale. They're on the ColorPlay deals page. Okay, so let's take about the same amount of color. I hope I don't have to make more of this. We're going to see what we end up with the end. Because I'm making 3 pieces a day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And do cyan aqua. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to go 8, 9, 10. I love a little more saturation on the cyan aqua. And then the Peribel. That's my that's my own word. It's a combination of periwinkle and bluebell. So we named this Peribel. Since they all have the same mica ingredients in them, pretty much the same, I'll mix all 3 of these at the same time, so it'll speed up our mixing time here. Now I'm getting the sparkle in by using interference micas from our Bling It line. What is Bling It? It's a line of minerals. It's mica and minerals. And I did ask somebody again, had somebody ask me the other day, what is interference? Now there's a whole video created for that, but one more time, interference fine. They're different particulate sizes. The interference fine creates this crazy fine shift and changes the way your eye sees the color. The interference sparkle, which is the next size up, it's a different size flake. See how flashy that is, right? That's the sparkle. And there is one called diamonds. The ratio to what? This is, these are probably about 2 ounces, and I'm putting just 7 to 10 drops in. It all depends on the saturation that you want. You just adjust it, add a little bit more as you go, and you're going to find your own saturation that you want. Then the third level of, somebody asked me how much purely pigment's in the resin. The third level is the largest particulate called diamond. And last night I watched the movie Burlesque again with Christina Aguilera. Diamonds, I don't mean rhinestones. Diamonds are a girl's best friend, right? So see, you got fine, middle size, large, flashy, flashy, flashy. Yeah. Oh, she's asking for ratio period? Yeah, Evelyn's giving you the technical, yeah, bit. Okay, so that's kind of a, how do I say this? She's right. As far as putting in like an acrylic paint, you have to stay under a certain ratio, or the binder in the acrylic paint can make it go off. These have no binder in here, so you can get a little away with more. And as far as mica, you can put in as much as you want, except in UV resin cannot take very much color at all. UV resin is limited on what can go in. But Evelyn's right, you do have to be careful. All right, let's get this Peribel in here. Because she could be asking these pigments, Evelyn, right? Because these have no binders, 3, 4, 5, yeah. And yet, if you put acrylic paint in, then you have to be really careful about how much you put in, because you don't want to make it go off. There was one lady who, she made up some sunflower in vivid enamel, one of our primary elements, and she put 30% in resin, and it looked like one of those firecrackers that swell up and go over, you know, those little firecrackers you light on fire, those worms that swell. She showed a picture on Facebook and how it had foamed up and gone over the side of the cup because she'd used so much acrylic paint in it. Okay, and each one of these, I'm going to add some interference blue. Now, I'm going to use the Sparkle Blue in the Perry Bell. I'm going to use some Sparkle Blue in the Sky Blue. But I'm going to grab some Sparkle Green for my cyan. So that it almost gives me a turquoise. Green and just a little pinch of the blue. A little bit blue-green. A blue-green sparkle. Woo, woo, woo. Like I said, diamonds are a girl's best friend. I love that movie. Boy, that girl can sing. Christina Aguilera, one heck of a voice. Yeah, I am aging myself. What can I say? I'm an old fart. So, and anybody takes offense to that, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you an old fart if you also like her. So here is the sky blue, carefully mixing it up. Oh, I am using the 1/4 teaspoon on that one. On my handy landy, I love this little set of spoons. This little set of spoons goes down to a 64th of a teaspoon. Basically, it measures a drop. What's another thing that's going to be great about them, Denise? Please tell us what's going to be great about the Purely Pigments. Love to hear what you have to say. Huh? She says, that's another thing about the Purely Pigments. What's going to be good about them? I am loving this color. So this is, see if I can get you a good. Yeah, oh yeah, the concentration is beautiful. Look at that. That's that sky blue with the blue on blue. John was trying to verbalize him using two different particulate sizes in the interferences last night. We were all FaceTiming. I said, I just say blue on blue, John, so we know that it's interference blue and it's some kind of sparkle of diamond that went in there. Right, so that's a blue on blue. This is the cyan aqua. This has some sparkle green, some sparkle blue, and interference blue in it because I want it to lean a little bit turquoise for me. Again, I got to be really careful. Sorry, my back is just, I think it's because I'm standing all week. Hey, Patty. Welcome, sweetheart. Happy Saturday. We got a nice little group here today. Oops. God, I need this just a little bit lower so I can sit here and make sure we're in this camera for you. I want you to see what the stuff is looking like as I'm mixing it up, right? Okay, and then the Perry Bell, which stands for Periwinkle Bluebell. Am I buffering? I'm not buffering now, sweetheart. Yeah, is it buffering for anybody else? The Perry Bell is this periwinkle blue. And again, be very careful. If you're not careful, the mic is just going to poof right out of the cup. So you're okay, Audra? There's no buffering for you. Maybe just where Evelyn was at, it could be her internet just for a second. Patty's giving everybody hugs and kisses. Woohoo. Okay, so now we got some of that. Oh, that's beautiful. I gotta say, I am mesmerized myself by what these look like. And remember, I've been making these things making these colors for 28 years. And I still can't. I'm like a little kid in a candy store when I see these things. I can't get over how gorgeous. I think I must have a crow somewhere in my jeans. Crow, crow. Anything that sparkles, I'm attracted to. Or a raccoon, which, by the way, I got scolded last night. I have a raccoon now coming up to the back door when I'm feeding my outdoor kitty at 4 a.m. And he's pushing my cat out of the bowl. And everybody was worried. I'm not going to pet him, I promise, guys. I'm not going to get rabies, but we have some rather friendly raccoons here. And my understanding, raccoons and birds really love sparkly things. I'm sure parakeets do too. Don't they like to look at themselves in the mirror? I don't know if anybody here has birdies, but I think in my last life, I must have been a crow. Give me anything that sparkles and I'm a happy girl. Okay, so we're gonna do 2 pinks here. Now, I was on the fence on this. I was looking at, oh, did I bring it? No, it's still in the other room. There's this tile we did a couple videos ago. And let me see if I can find it. The fluorescent violet. This is actually a fluorescent. I think I'm going to use this in place of dancing fuchsia today. Even though this will be in another set that's coming next. You have possum. Yeah, we have possums too. But the raccoons love my yard. They love the persimmons. What can they say? I feed them according to, the environment. I mean, I don't feed them, but there's plenty of trees in my backyard that certainly feeds them. Matter of fact, I got a video. Yeah. Actually, the cats just sit there and tolerate each other. I think they've gotten used to it. It's just weird because my cat just sits and looks at him while he comes up and takes over the bowl, and Oliver just backs up like, okay, I'm not going to argue with you. But, I'm just grateful there's still animals in the world. Yes. Okay. I think this may not be enough for 3 pieces. I'm just knowing that each one of these levels needs to be a little bit higher. I mixed up just a few more ounces of resin that I did yesterday because I know I'm going to have to accommodate. Sorry, that cup had some kind of paint on it. I'm going to have to accommodate the what was I going to accommodate? Yeah, the 3rd piece. 2 small ones and then hopefully a large one if I can pull this off today. We'll see. I'm pushing myself today. It's the last day of the week, and I want to give you guys the biggest bang for your buck here. Okay, so we're, instead of the dancing fuchsia, this will be the fluorescent violet that will be in the next set 4. We're gonna do a fluorescent set. I have the yummy yard. I have 2 persimmon trees and a cherry tree, and they like my trees. So here is, my hands are getting sticky already. Oops, did you guys see that cap just acted weird? Hang on a minute. My hands are slipping on this thing. Okay, this is weird. This ring just came off. I must have turned it too much. Let's see if we can still get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drops. That's fluorescent red violet. It's a gorgeous color. Yeah, you saw it on my tile yesterday, John. That's kind of why I wanted to do it today. And then the cotton candy, I can't get enough of this color. I know you guys are going to get sick of seeing me use it, but it seems to go with everything. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This has a little bit more. I'm going to go, that was 11 in there, I think, on that one. I'm going to use the cotton candy, maybe a little bit more, and maybe not. Okay, and these, I've decided I'm going to do some, let's see, interference violet. What are you saving money for, Evelyn? Money. There's some interference violet. And I'm going to add some sparkle red. Adding a lot of flash to my pieces lately. Okay, and then this fluorescent. I think we're going to do something different. This one I will put interference violet and sparkle blue in. You don't have to use the same color. So this is a big interference violet. This is sparkle blue. Uh-oh. Oh, I almost got the spoon in the epoxy. Careful, Leslie. I'm getting messy here. Get all my tops back on or I'm going to get them wrong. And let's see what happens with this fantastic cotton candy. I am in love with this color. I don't know what it is about this color. I don't think Princess Jasmina's mama's on today because she's a big pink girl. I mean, I love anything that's going to be brilliant and work together, but there's just something mesmerizing about this color. And you can add violet and gold. In this one, I added a little violet and red. So as I'm turning it, I can see the violet, but I also see little flashes of that sparkle red in there. That just gives me more light play. So by using the two different particulates, it makes the color much more mesmerizing. Yeah, I need help moving. We're gonna be moving soon. Okay, so this new board is giving me trouble on where to put my paints once I mixed them. Give me a second, guys. I gotta kind of reorganize some space over here because I'm gonna be doing a swipe. I can't have any paint on the right. I'm right-handed, so I gotta make sure that everything fits on the left comfortably. All right, let's see what this fluorescent looks like for you, John. I'm in love with this color too. Now this is interference violet, but it has some sparkle blue. You know, you're right about that. When to use them, how to use them. And this is just me giving you suggestions, okay? Seriously. You know, people for years asked me if I could make like regular matte colors and I'm like, but it's the interference that bends the light waves and changes the way my colors look. And interesting fun fact, all 314 colors are customized with only the 5 interferences: blue, green, gold, violet, red. We don't use the orange. There is one called interference copper, but it's really not significant. It's not interesting enough. Look at that one. You can see the blue and the violet in that one. Well, thank you, sweetheart. And on the phone. Yeah, this one I want to roll around and take a bath in if I was allowed. Okay, we're going to make up some straight interferences because I did some interference backgrounds on that one yesterday. So I want to do a gold. I'm going to do an interference gold with some red sparkle. And our gold is really gold. I'm going to put a lot in here. I got a lot of pieces to do. It's almost as much as me doing the regular interference. And then the sparkle red is just going to add a little flash to that gold, make it more interesting. Then I'll do one that is, let's see, eye green and sparkle blue. Let's make it interesting this time. Let's find our sparkle blue. Here it is. So eye green and sparkle blue. This will kind of make a turquoisey color, right? I'm going to add a little more flash to that one. This one has more of the fine interference. This one has more of the sparkle in it. Just for the fun of it. You think I know what I'm doing here, right? Sure I do. Now, I don't know if Sherry's here today. She may have an appointment, but yesterday I tried to use the Harvest Moon, and then I used the Ginger Peach. This time I'm actually going to use the Electric orange, which no, it's not up on the website yet, John. I know you were going to ask me, but it will be very soon. Yeah, blingets are just minerals. People, you can use them as eyeshadow. I know lots of daughters who are granddaughters that used it to flash up their eye makeup at the prom. They put a little bit of the big flakes on. It's just a mineral. It can go into anything, varnish. Other than it won't spray very well, you're going to have to get a big spray head if you wanted to do some kind of airbrushing with it. But it's just pure minerals from the ground. So it can be mixed into anything. That's a good question, though. I'd be surprised how many people ask that and don't know. I know, I'm making up a lot of color today. Oh, I'm loving what that looks like. That gold and red just lit up when I poured the resin over the top of that. So when I mix them up, you notice I'm pulling up these small little cups. What you do is you can mix it in a bigger container, but don't leave it in that container. It can heat up faster. So I break them down into smaller cups so they don't go off as fast. I don't want them to go off before their time. Whatever, there's a term, thermal something. I'm sure Fairy Art Mother knows the technical term to type it. But if you leave resin in a big container all by itself, I'm sure Evelyn can comment on that too. It creates this reaction. So when I mix them up in advance, I'm making little 3 and 4 ounce cups that are sitting behind me. You hear me turn around and getting, because I don't want them to go off too soon. All right, let's get some color in this one. Let's play with this electric exothermic. There we go. Not Vivid Enamel. Nope, wrong one. Art Fluid. John, Art Fluid. Enamel's too thick. It'll make it go off. That lady's, when she used Vivid Enamel, it blew up out of the cup. Break down your primary elements with the Art Fluid. You want something with no thickener. Sorry, John, didn't mean to correct you, but I didn't want her to think Vivid Enamel would work, because it won't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't apologize. You're helping. I am so grateful you're sitting here helping. There's so many things called Vivid Intense, Vivid Art Fluid, Vivid Enamel, Vivid. How can anybody keep them all straight, right? Okay, so in this, we're going to use Sparkle Red for the orange. And I'm just going to put some Sparkle Gold in it. I'm not even going to do the interference. We're just going to make this sparkle. All right, so I think I've got all the mica done, all the minerals in where they're supposed to go, all their little happy places with bright, shiny faces. Sweetheart, don't beat yourself up. Quit apologizing. You're cool. I just didn't want someone to run off and go buy the enamel and then it not work. Thanks, Denise. Yep, these are kind of like little mini classes because you get a chance to ask questions. Now we got to figure out how we can do a Zoom one for the members. Now, there's supposedly, I forget the number, if somebody's ever done a Zoom call, there's so many members we can have it at a time. I mean, I think people could get a lot of attention if we keep it less than 20, like maybe a dozen people at a time, because that way someone can actually get questions and answers and not feel like someone, who kind of dominates the conversation is asking all the questions. Yeah, it would be cool. Especially if people have, well, and that's the thing with this paid thing, the membership, the art club membership. I am willing to do some personal lives for members. I think, first of all, it's not going to hurt my business at all. But then if people are right there in front of their projects and can ask questions, we all learn together, right? And isn't that kind of the point of all of this? I mean, that's kind of the point of YouTube, is for us to all learn together, right? All together now. Pardon me? Buy the Vivid Art fluid when you, but no, you get Vivid Enamel with your, I don't want them confused, Evelyn. They get Vivid Enamel with their sets, right? And the art fluid for epoxy, specifically for epoxy. Okay, so here's the electric orange, and I simply put sparkle gold. It's not quite as deep as that one we were playing yesterday. I don't know, it feels like it's missing something. What are we missing? Why are we not deep enough? I kind of want that. I miss how dark and rich that other one was now. I'm looking at my colors. You know what? Let me take some of this blood orange. Where is it at? Here's a color called blood orange. It's like a darker saffron. You hardly have ever seen me use this. A couple drops of this will deepen my orange. I want it a little bit brighter. And then if I really want to brighten it, which we'll be able to do once the fluorescent set comes out, we'll be able to add a little fluorescent orange. Now, Kathleen, I think she's in here, said, why would I need fluorescence? I don't want stuff that glows in the dark. I said, wow, did you know that the Gone Bananas is that brilliant because there's a little bit of fluorescent yellow in the Gone Bananas? So adding a little fluorescent to the color, people will go, wow, why is it so bright? Why is that so pretty? What makes that so gorgeous? Well, the fluorescent gives it an extra pop. Oh yeah, that works good. And then, of course, you're all talking about Vivid Art fluid. I just happen to have some of that glass that I colorized. Okay, I know this is a big segue, but he's right. I made this custom glass. So this is fire glass mixed with a little bit of Vivid Art fluid, and I think this was the Prussian Violet. Shake it up, let it dry, and now I've got colored pieces for components for geodes and stuff. Yeah, it's just an all-purpose acrylic that's pretty darn handy to have around, right? And I'll take it. Thanks. Yeah, it's kind of an all, if you just think of it, it's acrylic emulsion with no thickener. So it's going to bind, it's just a binder, and it's going to bind stuff to things that you need to bind. And all pigments, all color has to have a binder. It won't work without being bound. Okay, the last two colors we're going to do, let's see what this fluorescent orange did, though I didn't finish mixing it for you. Oh yeah, look at that. Now, that's more of an electric, bright. That's a brilliant orange. Just adding a little bit of that fluorescent orange and then some of the blood orange, that blood orange, oof. Now that's a pretty orange. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's get everything out of the way. I've got to mix these two vivid intense colors up as my base. But I'm already worrying about space around me when I stand and do this because I can see how limited I'm going to be. Let's get some tools off the table. I don't need the silicone oil up here anymore. Get that out of the way. But the 2 cups I need for these out of the way. Where is that extension cord for the orange? It's pretty bright, I will say. It's pretty bright. Okay, so we can do these other 2 Vivid Intense. Now, one of the swipe swirls I'm going to use this as my background. The other one I'm going to use that. So I'm going to make up more of the periwinkle, fluorescent periwinkle, and about half as much of the cobalt aqua. These are going to be my background colors. Yeah, it really is glowing. It's a good color. These will be my background colors. And actually, I'm going to need two, possibly, you know what? I should just be smart. Be smart, Leslie. Be smart. Stay up for me. I think I'm just going to mix the purple in a bigger cup. I mean, that makes more sense. I just want to make sure I'm not using too much on one piece and I have some left over. Let's get this cobalt aqua in. Now, yesterday we found out, remember, these are 3 mils of color per ounce, not 27, okay? If you have a meditation setting, I'll watch the replay. Have a blingy day, and we will definitely have a blingy day. So this, I'm not gonna put any sparkle in. These are gonna be my translucent background color. So here's the cobalt aqua. This looks like this is going to give me a nice background. It's not quite as transparent as the periwinkle. Of course, I went ahead and added plenty, but you can still see transparency of that. I think it's going to be a great addition to what we're doing. Okay. And then right in this cup, I'm going to mix it up because I want to use this on the big one and on one of these little ones. And boy, I hope I have enough resin mixed up because this is the last bit that I've got. I'll reserve some clear, just a little bit of clear in case I need it. Let's see, how much is this going to make? That's only 2 ounces. Not as much as you think. But that's okay. Let's see what we end up getting. Now, this cap was stuck yesterday, didn't work. I did have to pour some off. I'd say it was about maybe a half a teaspoon. If you can see it in the cup. It's very transparent. This periwinkle is very transparent. And it was perfect for a background color on that tile. Perfect with the interference, because our background's going to be this transparent tint and interference. A little bit more color. And I'm worried this isn't enough epoxy. I might have put too much to the turquoise. So we're going to see what we actually have left. See if I can squeeze a little bit more out of this cup I've got back here. Here I've got 2 ounces left. I'm going to leave myself an ounce reserve just in case, because sometimes it helps to have a little clear lubricant on your tips or edges. It may be that my 2 rounds will be with the turquoise. And this, I'll save this for the big piece. And if that's so be it, that's so be it. That's what the universe wants. That's what the universe is going to get. That is such a stunning color. Okay. Let's get everything prepared. Get my hands cleaned off a little bit. Now for this one, I'm just going to do a turn swipe. I'm not going to spin it. You know, I'm not going to spin the resin, and this isn't going to spin anyway. I've got too much plastic wrap on there to get it to spin. But I can manually turn it as I'm creating my pattern, right? All right, so let's see how far up and high I can get this camera for you. Get you guys a chance to see this. All right. Now, a trick, if you're going to use your hand to spread the resin, and a couple things I didn't say. I have puppy pads here to the right that my tools are sitting on. Bottle of alcohol ready to wipe everything clean, including my hands. Always have spray alcohol on hand. Okay, always. Let me get everything organized and set up here to the right. It's gonna be fun, okay. I hope it works. I have 2 cans sitting next to me to move it off and drip it on. If you guys could see how little space I have here, I'll just be so glad when I finally move. Okay, let's get this on here. So yesterday I did like a transparent base. We're gonna put half of this on. I only want half. I hope it's fun for you guys. I did get my new gun. If you noticed, I taped up. So I can't ruin this. Other than will it let me turn it on? Uh-oh. I taped it up. I didn't try turning it on after I taped it. Oh no. It should just be as easy as pushing a button, right? Oh, come on, Leslie. If you could see how you'd be laughing at me. I can't even get the tape off because I got all these gloves on my hand. What a dork. I guess taping this up in advance wasn't so smart because it won't let me turn it on. It's a brand new gun. I did turn it on. I tested it. I made sure it worked. You guys can laugh and laugh and laugh at me. This is so dang silly. It's plugged in. Trust me. The button's not moving. I haven't properly figured out how to use my brand new button. There we go. Hey, Doug. Donna Harrington. Welcome, sweetheart. Okay, so I want to warm this up. I don't want to boil it. So I can get this to move around. And now I have an extra glove on this hand. Well, that wasn't too much trouble. That worked. Okay, other than it's really messy, can I just say. All right, now with my clean hand, I'm going to try to add little highlights of some interference here and there, just to make my background a little more interesting. I don't want to use it all because this has to go for all 3 pieces, right? Now here's the trick. How do I pick up the gun and heat it when I still have this funky glove in your hand? This is the problem with this. So I'm going to try, this is why I was using the torch, with my left hand just to slightly warm that. Left-handed, may I add. I am determined not to get resin on my brand new gun. And then I just kind of want to muddle that in. So I have an interesting background to start with. All right. Now my glove comes off and in the garbage. Clean glove. Yeah, for our mother, first time I was trying resin, she says, always have 3 pairs of gloves on your left hand. and at least two, I mean, on your right hand, if you're right-handed, and at least two on the left. Okay, so what are we going to do as far as the colors? Well, I'm looking at my color combinations here. I am in love with this fluorescent violet, but I'm thinking of this as like a regular swipe. So I would be doing little lines, right? I'm going to do little lines from the center out. There's so much turquoise in there. I'm going to save some of my cyan aqua for the next one. So let's go with this sky blue. Let's hope this works. We don't know if this is going to work or not. Cotton candy. Now here, I feel like I need to incorporate some of our gold with the little silicone oil in it. I'm not going to put as much down as I did in those other pieces because I want to reserve this for two more pieces, right? So then I've got this orange, crazy orange, which John said looked electric, which I think he's right. It does look a little, oh my God, can you see that interference red now? Oh, sparkle red and sparkle gold is what I put in here, and I'm getting the flashes of red are coming through to me. Oh my God, it's gorgeous, just stunning. So here's our orange. So we've got everything down there except, do we have the Peribel? We do not have the Peribel. This is that periwinkle color. It is truly, truly gorgeous. Yes. See, at least standing, I can really show you these colors under the light that you can't see when I'm sitting. Really, truly, they're so much prettier. Me standing up and being able to show them. Okay. Now, just for extra insurance, because we are attempting a swipe style, let me get my little spoons back into their appropriate cups. Let's see. One more dribble of gold. I mean, you have to think of this as your cell activator, right? Or do I put it on the back of this? I don't know. Do you put this on the back of this? It may ruin it if I do that. It may stick to the tool. So I'm just going to add a drop, the tiny bit more line of a gold here, so it works. Now, my instinct is to say, warm it. Now, my hands are not clean enough to pick up that gun. This is the challenge. So I'm cleaning my hands with alcohol. Trying to get all that epoxy off of there. So when I pick up this brand new gun, I'm not getting epoxy in that, and I'm just going to warm this slightly. Okay, something really strange is happening to the canvas. Can you see all those strange bubbles? Did I accidentally get silicone in some other color? Look at that. Can you guys see that? Okay, I'm going to have to sit down and do the swipe, so. Oh! Okay, well, that's cool. That's interesting. Now that looks pitty, so now we know it's not the silicone causing that, right? Okay, I have to sit to do this in order to get good control. So I'm going to swipe it. Have no idea if this works or not. but I'm dying to try. Now it looks like there's a couple spots that I missed. You can't exactly spin this off to make it go center. So let's see, if I was looking at this and this was a piece for somebody I needed to, you know, do a commission for, what would I do? Let me stand up and look at this and make this more interesting. Now, we're getting some great patterns. I think I'd probably add another line of color right around here. I don't know, I like some of that blue. But if I was going to be doing a piece, the spiral swipes are not the easiest, takes a lot of practice. Well, they're good with the acrylic. If you haven't seen my last couple of videos, I finally hammered it out with the acrylic, which is why I'm risking this, because I've had really good luck doing this with the acrylic. Well, the canvas, no, it won't. It's not going to leak. The canvas doesn't leak air. It doesn't work like that. It's the wood pushes gases up is why that happens. So I'm going to add a little more of my favorite pink in here. Actually, I'm liking what I'm getting. It's beautiful, but it's very subtle. It's not quite as brilliant as the piece we did yesterday, where I'm blowing all that brilliant color everywhere, right? But at least just for the exercise, I'm going to put a tiny bit of that silicone-based gold and see what else we get. Might as well. It's my piece. We're working it. So now I'm back to having same situation. Epoxy on my hands, and I can't pick up the gun, which is why I wanted to tape it. I think I just haven't turned it off and on, you know, since I just bought it, and I turned it on once to make sure it worked. So I'm not really comfortable if I'm pushing up, pushing in, pushing down. I'm sure if I practice enough, I'll be able to do it with the gun on. I mean, with the tape on it, but I was just not going to ruin my brand new gun without at least trying. So here's a little heat. A little more heat on what we just did. And let's see if this works. Just gonna do one more swipe all the way around. And it's a little bit less exciting than I'd hoped. I don't know, this is looking pretty nice though. Other than it looks a little bit disjointed here, like it doesn't belong, right? Well, let's use the gun and see if we can't smooth this out just a little bit. This little blob of violet's gonna bug me. There we go. Get that in there. This isn't horrible. I'd really be curious to see how this dries. I don't know if I want to do a second one though. I think I want to get to my main piece right away. And let's see what everybody's saying. You guys, I mixed black plum with interference green and violet today. I was not mad at all. Still call you hood. Oh, we got 40 people in here right now. I didn't even realize that. All of a sudden, here I'm sitting here swiping and typing, and we got more friends in the room. Welcome, everybody who just joined us. My name is Leslie Ohnstad, and we're playing with ColorArte products. Yeah, well, I didn't mean to spray alcohol on my canvas, Evelyn. My bad. All I wanted to do was have clean hands and not ruin my gun. Now I'm spraying to the right, away from the canvas, as I'm cleaning my tools in my hands. All right, I'm going to take this puppy off. We'll see what it does. I'm going to get to the main piece. I really wanted to do a cradle board. Oh, thank you guys for doing the thumbs up. That's really sweet of you. Yeah, I have some really nice wood boards outside, and I've been trying to gear myself up to that. We started on the 4x4 canvases, then the 6x6 tiles, then the last couple days the 10x14 tiles. Today was supposed to be see what it does on canvas. So let me get this piece off. Let's see if you guys can get again. Oh, those colors are pretty. Well, we knew they would be. That pattern's not bad. I'm not mad at this at all. That's kind of interesting. So let's sit this over here. I even have a place ready to set it and forget it and even let it drip. Okay, we're gonna deconstruct this. You're gonna get to see what I had underneath. So let me get this silicone folded up because it is wet and out of the way so I don't make a mess. Get my turntable off. Okay, and like I said, I had purchased this, and after what happened, Evelyn warned me about my piece, and then she was right. It did go off to the side. This has a little epoxy on the type, but this is a cutting board. I bought this off of Etsy. And there's a gentleman and his wife that sell these boards. It looks like a regular butcher board. But if you notice, there is a, I don't know if you can see the level here. And there's a level also to the right, okay? And so hopefully this will help. Thank you, sweetheart. So good to hear that, Miss Harrington. All right, so I painted this canvas. I really wanted to do a board, but next step up is an actual canvas. Okay, now I painted this with Prism Pour Misty Veil. It looked a little weird because Misty Veil is that mineral that has the gray cast to it. But that's okay. I'm going to use this as my, let's see, how are we going to do this? I may have to raise you up more so you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, boys and girls. It still doesn't really want to look, it would probably be happier if I did it this way. The thing is I'm going to have to, if this is going to be, the final piece is going to look like this, but I'll be putting the color sideways and then blowing them up this way, okay? And I hope I can get as good as results. Let me get this silicone on the edge of this thing as I did yesterday. And this board, these little feetsies fit a 16x20 perfectly, because this is a 16x20. Okay, so let's get this color I mixed up. This fluorescent. And I'm really worried there's not enough of it, to be honest. You know, might as well go all in. I've got a little bit more clear left. I'm not going to do that third piece, so we're just going to go all in and make sure that every bit of this is in here that we need. We heat it well enough, it should spread and give us a really nice background. Yeah, I mixed up a lot of resin today. Normally I'm mixing up 6, 8, and 8, 16. I mixed up 6 more ounces, so 22 ounces today was what my mix was. All right, let's get this color on. But I'm hoping no alcohol went in those cups. Now you got me thinking that maybe I got alcohol even in my interference stuff. So it's going to be a little tricky here, guys. Give me a minute. I got to get another glove on here so I can move this around. I'm going to put 2 on because I have a feeling since I have to pick up the gun. So this hand will, if my right hand will officially have, 4 gloves on it. By the way, it's not easy putting gloves on top of gloves, just so you know. It's getting harder and harder the stickier this stuff is. But if you want to protect your equipment and yourself, okay, I'm going to put 1 more on top of this. Just to be safe, completely safe, so we have plenty of room to go. Now see, this glove, the one I just put on isn't sticky, so this one's going to go on a lot faster. Okay, let's get this heated up. See if we can't get this smoothed out. Still not hot enough. Yep, it's not hot enough. I think I'm gun shy of the gun a little bit because I used to burn resin. And so I have a tendency to underheat things just because of fear. Because once you boil the resin, it doesn't really behave the same, right? It loses its, I don't know, it doesn't even look right when it dries. So I've actually cooked resin. You leave it in one place too long, right, and it will do that. Now what's interesting is having this misty veil underneath. Because this is translucent, that prison pour from beneath is going to come through, and it's adding a really nice extra bounce of color underneath this. I can see the misty veil actually coming through this clear. I don't really want to move the canvas, so I'm trying to stretch my way over there to get to that corner. Trying to leave it where it's at. So I'm having to bend around the camera to get to this. Apologies. Yeah, it needs way more heat. Okay, but we're going to Then add our interference, right? So we got some really pretty interference gold. We'll go through here and make some waves of that. Then we've got this green-blue mix that we did. The only problem with resin is everything suddenly becomes sticky and you feel like you're sticking to yourself, and it drives me nuts. It's just a world you have to get used to as part of the plan, and yet it's so gorgeous when you're done working with it. It's like, who can stay away from this gorgeous material called epoxy, right? Speaking of that, some lady yesterday asked me, what's the difference between, is there such a thing as epoxy and then resin? Is it the same thing? Boy. See, now remember I put the extra glove on? Ha, 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 ha. I'm gonna be able to give this a really great heat. God, I hope that's warm enough. I did it twice as long. So I want to kind of do just a little muddling back and forth. Okay, a little crazy, but that's okay, right? Call me crazy. It's my mess, right? And oh, what a beautiful mess it is. All right, next step. Got to flip this silicone thing I got on my table over. I'm making a mess everywhere I'm going. And I hate that mess. All right, let's take this glove off. Because I shouldn't be having to stick my hand in it anymore. All right, so what we did yesterday, I did those puddles. Part of me feels like doing puddles again. Part of me is happy with what the kind of that Dutch pour thing was. But I think I'm going to start with the cyan aqua, the color of the dye. We're having a ball with you, Leslie. Thank you, Denise. It looks really interesting, huh? Okay, so maybe I'll just stick with the Dutch pour thing because those puddles were kind of odd yesterday, but I want to have a little area that's higher and a little bit lower, right? So we have some high points. We have some lower points. So there is the cyan aqua. John, here is your electric orange. And it really, well, remember, this has some fluorescent in it too. This is electric orange, a little bit of blood orange. Boy, those colors. I'm getting a full rainbow in here with that red sparkle and gold sparkle. This is insanely beautiful. All right, so we got the aqua, we got that. Let's add some of this fluorescent red violet. All right. Now I think this Perry Bell color is just breath. Oh, wait a minute. This is the sky blue. This is the Perry Bell. I don't know what I'm doing, but I want to kind of do it in reverse now. Whatever this is going to give us, I don't know what it's going to give us, but no matter what, it'll be pretty, right? That's what I'm hoping. Okay, I'm going to sandwich some gold in between this. We'll put gold on the top. Remember, we got silicone in this, right? Gold on the top, gold on the bottom, but I'm also going to put gold in the other pattern too. So you see I'm putting a vein of gold in both patterns, like almost a figure eight. The cotton candy, same thing. It is such an extraordinary color. I'll do a figure eight on that one too. Might as well, since I get to dedicate all this paint to just this one canvas, right? And then finally, here is that sky blue. Just add a little bit of extra something to it. I'm just going to do one pattern across. And let me get all these little cups out of the way. I think I have plenty of paint on this canvas. I don't think I need any more. I'm going to wait and take a look and see what everybody's saying right now. I need to get all this stuff to my right side, my left side, because I'm right-handed. All right, what's everybody saying? That pink's amazing. Yes, it is, sweetheart. That pink is absolutely good, gorgeous. Okay, I've got two guns here. This one actually gives me a harder blow. This one's going to give me more heat. So I'm going to heat this first. Heat it as good as I can. So it's nice and soft and molten. Yeah, this gun is not nearly as good as the gun I just killed. Doesn't have as much guts. Which is why I'm going to use this. Okay, that's interesting. Just to make sure that the other's warm enough, I'm going to warm that other section up just a little bit. Okay, let's grab this gun. Let's see it start from the top this time, halfway up. Now I got that on high. All right, so it looks a little bit too uniform to me. So we're going to try, and I might hopefully not ruin this. I'm literally going to do a second veining here. And I can hear Mandy going, no, Leslie, no. Second veining here. I kind of want one to go up high. Will it blow up for me? Sorry. It's really hard to get the rest of this out of the cup when I'm stretching over the top of it, guys. Sorry about that. This is that fluorescent violet, red violet. My God, these patterns are incredible. Let's put some of this orange on. We'll start back here with the orange. Oh, come on. Dude, give me the paint. That's the thing with the epoxy. It's because it's viscous. It's not necessarily just going to pour in your cup when it's about halfway empty. Kind of have to figure out a way to lace that on. Let's see what we got left here with this powder blue. This looks like it's got a lot on the cup. This is the color that I'm waiting to see what happens. This cotton candy, and I don't have a lot of it left. I'm gonna make sure we have, get a big stick here. Make sure we got some of it right here in this focal center area that I want it, right? And then make sure there's some here and whatever I got left. Some here. Our gold. Good thing I made a lot of this gold. The silicone, the magic silicone. And by the way, Mandy, I don't know if you've watched the last few broadcasts, but we're mystified for some reason putting this specific, and it's a certain type of silicone in there. I just happen to have it on my table. There is no pitting coming up on the tiles at all. So this is a test to see what happens to canvas. Are we going to get the same effect? Because the resin is smoothing right over the top and there's no pitting. And I'm pretty curious as to why would that happen, right? Explain that one. I'm mystified. We know the Resi Blast was silicone. There's some more of that cyan aqua. Okay. Again, it just looks too blocky and uniform to me. I want a little more something, something to it. So this is my way of adding a little something to the top. All right, let's see what this does. Real quick, if it'll blow it up for me. Well, I'm not getting exactly petal shapes, but it is more interesting than it was. Still getting that round effect, like that looks like coral. All right, well, interesting experiment. What do you think? This looks a little bit too like I put that second stripe in. So I'm going to do one more little pass here. All right, guys. Well, so much for my experiment. Thank you, Cindy. Let me dump all this resin on my table while I'm standing. So my back is really mad at me. I'm going to have to sit down, and I'm going to have to drop the camera, so watch your eyes. Not too horrible. I'm going to read what you just said to Miss Harrington, Donna. I know she comes in as Doug, but her name's actually Donna. I think Doug is the husband's name. Let's see what you said, sweetheart. Rest now. When some artist I watch having trouble with trying to resin over. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but it still didn't work. And yet, for some reason, we're trying to figure out why there's no divots in the tiles. So if you came in later, Donna, so what you didn't see was the tile test from yesterday. Donna, take a look at this. Here's the tile test from yesterday, okay? And did the feed didn't. I'm trying to make sure the feed's seeing this. No pits, nothing in this. We can't explain why. Bye, Janelle. Have a good one, sweetheart. Yeah. So, and then, and if you like do homework, okay, now, what I normally do in the piece is tilt it backwards, but I'm pretty happy with the bottom. Love you, sweetheart. Yeah. What I did in the last two is I just sort of tilted it up. I can lift this thing up. That'll let me. And just kind of let some of the pattern run down. But this is pretty interesting. And again, it's a canvas test. I still need to, you know, a couple of years ago when I first started playing with the resin art, I figured out how to do petals. So I'm going to have to practice again how to get some kind of petal effect in these, right? Yeah, I won't forget. It's going to go up. Yeah. I'll tilt them to the left, tilt them to the right. Sit down, stand up, fight, fight, fight. Even though it's pretty, there's not much movement on the left to right, and there's very little movement on the bottom. She's got great advice. But tilting left to right, okay, I don't want to get resin on my actual brand new board beneath it. So I'm going to stop this tilting thing because I've got to keep the silicone cover on this thing. All right, I'll mess with this afterwards, and then I'm going to put it up somewhere where it can drip. Let me get the phone down here where I can talk to y'all. Thanks for hanging with me, guys. So the Purely Pigment Set 3 will begin shipping next Friday. I'm going to put the loose bottles up as soon as I can. Literally, it might be the same weekend. We're going to put them up as soon as they begin shipping. I'll put the loose ones up because a lot of people have been asking for the loose colors like the cyan aqua or the cotton candy. And then behind the scenes, the fluorescents are going to go right into the lab immediately. And then as soon as we announce the fluorescents, they should ship in a couple of days. It won't be a pre-order event. We'll just have them ready to ship. So thank you, Evelyn. I must admit, this color combination's gorgeous. And John, you're right. That little bit of fluorescent took that electric orange to a whole another level. Oh my God, it's a beautiful orange. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I don't know why I just did that. See if I had resin on my face. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. Love you for hanging in for 107 minutes. There's 42 of us. The membership drive does officially end the first part of May. So if you're going to become an Art Club member, you want to become a founding member, you need to do it in the next few days. And go to colorart.com, COLOURARTE, to find that. You guys have a beautiful day. Thank you so much. Hugs and kisses. Bye.